So before we begin, I really want to preface this video by saying that I am a huge Beyonce fan. I might even call myself a stan, and I really don't like to use stan for anyone, but like Beyonce is the closest thing to it. She's a living legend. I've been a fan since like the 99s and the 2000s. Like I have been here from the jump. I've seen Beyonce in concert thrice. I went to Formation Tour in 2016 twice, and I went to On the Run 2 back in 2018, and I'm still trying to go to Renaissance, but you know, it costs money and I don't really have much right now. I even still have I pulled it out, my Formation Tour shirt. Hold on, I had to put my freaking mic down. Can you see it? I still have my shirt. I wear it all the time. Once again, I'm a huge Beyonce stan. Beyonce has always been criticized on her acting abilities, and honestly, I feel like people have been too harsh. I feel like she did pretty good in Dreamgirls, Cadillac Records, Obsessed. I love that movie. But there is one movie that I cannot defend, and that is Carmen, a Hip Hopera. So Carmen is a made-for-TV movie that was released on MTV in 2001. It is described as a musical romantic drama, and it is based on the 1875 opera called Carmen, but it's set in Philadelphia and in Los Angeles, and it uses hip-hop and R&B songs as opposed to opera. And honestly, this version is more of a remake of the 1954 film called Carmen Jones, and this was yet another recreation of the original Carmen, but it starred legends Harry Belafonte and Dorothy Dandridge. This version actually received a lot of critical acclaim, and Dorothy Dandridge became the first black person to be nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars, which is obviously iconic. So Carmen, a Hip Hopera is actually Beyonce's first acting role, and a lot of people tend to forget that because it was made for TV. She starred a year later in 2002 in Austin Powers' Goldmember, which of course a lot of people remember because of the iconic Work It Out song. But that wasn't her first. Carmen stars Beyonce as the titular character. Also in this film is Mekhi Phifer, Mos Def, Rah Digga, Joy Bryant, Wyclef Jean, Jermaine Dupri, Bow Wow, and The Brat as a rapping narrator. This is the most black ass early 2000s cast, and I love it. Oh my god, it gives me so much joy saying all these names. Carmen was directed by Robert Townsend, who is also the director of iconic legendary black films Babs and Holiday Heart. So now I'm just gonna go through the movie story and I'm gonna recap it for you guys. Before we get into it though, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Subscribing is free as hell. I am so close to 100,000 subscribers. I don't need that many more, so if you don't mind subscribing, that would be great. I do a lot on this channel. I talk about literally whatever I want, so just subscribe. It's not that hard. Just one click of a button. So the movie starts off with a dramatic opening rap narration by The Brat, telling us that this is the tragic story of Carmen.
Carmen, a hip hopera, watch the drama unfold. The tragic tale of a girl trying to capture the globe with a free spirit, brother steady trying to hold.
We meet Derek Hill, a police officer for the Philadelphia Police Department, played by Mekhi Phifer. He is about to be married to a woman named Kayla, played by Reagan Gomez Preston. We get an appearance from Bow Wow, back when he was still Lil Bow Wow and at the prime of his career. Isn't it crazy that someone was at the prime of their career and honestly like their life at the age of 13? Like Bow Wow has gone through so much over the last like what, 15 years? What could have been, right? Anyway, Bow Wow and his partner is caught by Derek and his boss, Lieutenant Miller, played by Mos Def. We discover that he is a crooked cop engaging with dope dealers and taking some drugs when they fall from Lil Bow Wow's jacket. Derek wants to speak up, but he's intimidated by his boss. Later at the bar, we meet Carmen Brown herself in a stunning red dress. So we get Carmen's first song, and for the girls that like to say,
why does Beyonce rap so much now? She never used to rap.
Homegirl has been spitting from the jump. Do you not hear these bars?
Carmen Brown got the whole town speechless. I stick to my thesis, I stick to my features. Brothers try to hold, but the game never reaches. And most of these cats are like the middle of peaches.
She, along with Lieutenant Miller and another guy, go back and forth in this musical number. In this rap, Carmen is clearly showing her interest in Derek, who is at the bar with his fiance, who peeps this and gets jealous, but Carmen gives no fucks because she is here to steal her mans. Now we get a first glimpse at one of the worst parts of this movie, which is the editing. Like, what is this transition? Even for the time, this was pretty bad. Kayla isn't happy that Derek is a cop, and you would think it's because police is corrupt, you know, fuck 12, ACAB, all that, but no. It's a dangerous job.
But becoming a cop is like becoming a man to me.
And if you get shot, then you'll become a body bag, you see. I love you more than slaves love the thought of being free.
You and me?
Simpson.
Eternally.
Shortly after this, Carmen gets into a fight with another bar goer because I guess she was trying to flirt with her mans too, and Lieutenant Miller forces Derek to take Carmen to the police station, saying that she started the fight. We then get yet another song from Carmen and Derek. Carmen is pretty much saying to leave his girl for her, and he's like, nah sis, I love my girl is my life, my everything. I mean, it wasn't really like that, but whatever. We are 15 minutes into this movie and we've already gotten 4 musical numbers. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, so I really don't know, but like, I feel like this is a lot of singing for just 15 minutes. For the musical heads out there, if this is normal, let me know in the comments. But actually, if you listen very carefully, which I mean, I guess this is the case for most musicals. Like I said, I don't know. The songs that they're rapping and singing or whatever is actually pushing the story forward, which that's the thing I have with musicals, because some musicals don't do that. They're like singing just to sing and it's not like advancing the story. But in this case, it kind of is. Like, we're getting story from the music as opposed to them just singing just because. I'm looking at you, Tyler Perry. Before taking Carmen to jail, she asks him to take her home first so she can take off her jewelry. Apparently, one of the pieces of jewelry she had belonged to her mother, and she fears that they're going to take it at the police station, and Derek does so. When they get to Carmen's house, she tells Derek how she wants to be an actress, and she also changes into some sexy lingerie and seduces him with yet another song.
You know you really, 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 really want to be with me, so why don't you stop beating around the bush and come and give it to me?
This works and they sleep together. We didn't get another very bad edit when the screen just turns red. And I mean, I did that in my last video, but like, I'm not a professional editor. The next morning, Derek is arrested by Miller for pretty much not arresting Carmen. Miller also brings over his fiancée Kayla, who slaps him multiple times. Meanwhile, Carmen is with her friends and they're playing with tarot cards. Her friends head out on the town, but Carmen stays home because she's like, I'm waiting for my man, I can't go out, I love my man, he's gonna be out and I need to be here. Like, girl, y'all have only known each other for 2 days, like, pump the brakes. We get another musical number from Derek and his cellmate Bow Wow. I do not remember his character's name, so we're just gonna call him Bow Wow. In this rap, he pretty much talks about how much he loves Carmen. We even get some input from Mr. Jermaine Dupri. Don't remember his character's name either. At the end of this number, Derek says he's gonna make Carmen's kitten purr, which I found quite hilarious.
When you get out, what you gonna do?
Man, I'm gonna make a kitten purr.
Later, Carmen and her friends go to the club where a hot rapper named Blaze will be. At the club, Miller is there and he talks to Carmen, pretty much like intimidating her. Bro, it's like Mos Def could not remember his lines. Like, watching this scene, it seems like he's like literally thinking of his lines as he's talking. And like, there's like some weird pauses in between too. So it's like, could y'all not cut and just redo this?
You think I'm gonna dance with you after you had me arrested? I mean, you crazy.
I know, but that wasn't personal. That was just police business.
Blaze comes in and we get yet another questionable editing choice. We get a musical number from Blaze, played by Casey Lee. We also get some lines from Rod Digger's character as well. Blaze sees Carmen and is instantly drawn to her. Blaze talks to Carmen and she tells him about how she wants to move to LA and become an actress. Also, she goes from like 0 to 100 real quick.
I want my own movies, my own TV show, my own sitcom.
I can see your name in the lights already, just like
Whatever, don't pay me.
Look.
Blaze invites Carmen and her friends to Los Angeles the same night for some odd reason, but she denies because she's in love with Derek. Once again, you known this guy for what, 5 days?
5 days. You put your hand in my face again, girl.
5 days.
Even though she says no, in the next scene, her friends comes to her house in bags, with bags. Imagine if they came in bags. Oh my god, this voiceover is so whack. They came to Carmen's house with bags saying that they're flying to LA with Blaze. Carmen once again denies because she has to wait on Derek to get out of jail, but she says that he thinks he'll be down to move to LA when he gets out. We then get another rap number from Carmen and her friends with some very, very interesting editing.
It might seem, but everything that glitters don't bling. I ain't never met these brothers. How was that the right choice?
I'm trying to run with my homie.
Two top and show me. Well, you watch Derek learn to love me and hold me.
Derek arrives in the middle of the night, and honestly I thought it was a dream sequence, but apparently it's real. He's here and they're booed up at Carmen's place, which is decorated like a Zoe 101 dorm room. Carmen brings up moving to LA with Derek today, but he can't because he's on probation and can't leave Philly for a year. This leads to another song with Carmen being upset about Derek not wanting to move to LA, but girl, he legally can't, so I don't know why you're so mad. But Carmen thinks he doesn't love her enough to break the law again and move with her.
That sounds good and everything, but the topic you changed. If you were down for me and love me, you would get on the plane.
Miller and Derek end up at the same bar, and this leads to another musical number with them just going back and forth. It ends with Miller calling Carmen a hoe and Derek punches him. Derek runs out and Miller forces Derek's former partner to arrest him. Derek goes back to Carmen's place and tells her that they have to go because Miller is coming after him, and they pack everything up and they move to Los Angeles. We get this sort of like montage scene of Derek and Carmen driving to LA and Miller looking for him with some more like very just questionable editing choices. Derek and Carmen get to LA and they are in this trashy motel room. Derek manages to get a job making $6 an hour, which is crazy. I mean, I know this is 2001, but wow. But he's literally a fugitive and he can't get a job. Like, the person at that place almost called the police on him and he had to run out. Carmen goes to a audition and one of the casting people there asks her to be more urban.
Could you be more urban?
More urban?
Yeah. You know, more black.
More black?
Yeah, you know, more like Shanae girl thing type.
Carmen is over Derek's lack of ability to get a job, and Derek is over Carmen struggling with finding acting roles.
Look, listen, Carmen, I don't mean to burst your bubble or nothing like that, but this is Hollywood 2001, okay? You know what that means? That means even the most talented black actress still gets the ghetto-fied hoochie role, so...
So, at least it's a start.
Carmen goes on a walk and runs into her friends. She sees that Blaze has been taking care of her friends. They're driving in a Mercedes and they have all these shopping bags. They come across a tarot card reading place and that's just their thing, so they go inside. When the psychic gets to reading Carmen's cards, they say ruin, sorrow, and death. We get another musical number from Carmen, and this is one of the first songs in the film where she's actually singing. And when rewatching this was like the song that I remember the most out of all of them.
No, 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 no. No. I don't wanna go. Just let me stay home. No. Let me dream, let me see another dawn. No.
During the song, she pulls almost all the cards and they all say death. She throws them in the air and the effect of the cards falling is pretty bad. Like, honestly, the music in this movie isn't bad at all. It's mostly just the acting and the editing. Carmen goes to Blaze's rehearsals and talks to him. He invites her to his show and asks her to be his date, and she agrees. Kayla gives Derek a call and warns him about Miller coming for him. Meanwhile, Miller manipulates Derek's former partner into giving up Derek's address in LA for a large amount of money. Derek tries to convince Carmen to move once again, but Carmen wants to stay in LA. Derek finds out about Carmen going to Blaze's show, and this upsets him. Carmen breaks up with Derek, leaving him devastated. I mean, you get him how you lose him, or you lose him how you get him. What's the quote? You get him how you lose him? I don't know, whatever it is, that's what's happening right now. Like, why do I kind of low-key feel bad for Derek? Like, yes, he did cheat on his fiance, and the woman that he cheated on his fiance with ends up leaving him for a rich nigga, but like, I still kind of feel bad just a little bit. But Carmen was about her bag, and honestly, I can't, fault her for that. Like, girl, we are getting to the bag, fuck these niggas. Like I can't be mad at Carmen trying to come up, because aren't we all? Oh my god, I look so buff. Look at that. Ooh. The guns are out, boy. The guns are out. Later at her friend's house, Carmen is in the tub, and after she gets out, a plugged up radio falls in. You remember when she pulled the death card? It's really giving Final Destination. That movie did come out like a year before this one. Derek sees Blaze and Carmen on TV and he is spiraling. He calls his former partner and is freaking out, telling him that he can't live without Carmen and that he's gonna go to Blaze's concert and get her back.
Hey, I love her, okay? She's the air that I breathe, you understand? Listen to me, okay? I'm going down to the concert to get Carmen, man. I'm not leaving Cali until I get her, and that's it.
After ending that call, his partner calls Miller and tells him where Derek is heading. At the concert, Derek shows up and so does Miller. Derek pulls Carmen backstage and talks to her, but she doesn't really want to hear him. Derek believes that Miller will try to hurt Carmen to get at him, and he's right, because Miller shows up and shoots Carmen, killing her.
Baby. Wait. What's the matter? Carmen. What the?
So I'm not sure if he was actually trying to kill Carmen, because it looks like he was aiming for Hill, but they were like tussling a little bit, so I think it may have been an accident. Who knows? Derek and Miller get into a fight, which leads to Miller falling to his death. Derek is caught by the police and is blamed for killing both Carmen and Miller. We didn't get a montage of the entire movie, like we just didn't sit here and watch for the past like hour and 20 minutes. The movie ends with another rap narration by the Brat. In this rap, she's pretty much just like, who's to blame for everything? Derek, Carmen, Miller? Doesn't really matter because Derek is in jail, Carmen and Miller is dead, and it's just a sad, tragic story. So that is the end of the movie, and I have something very embarrassing to admit, but it's not that embarrassing because I was a literal child. So when I first watched this movie when I was like 6, 7 years old, I cried relentlessly because I thought Beyonce died. She got shot, she died in the movie, and I thought Beyonce was real life dead. I thought they literally just filmed her death. I was crying. I was like so traumatized. My mom had to sit me down and be like, boy, Beyonce is alive and well. This is a movie. It is not real. Like, I think that was the first time I ever realized like what comes on TV isn't real. Like, I was like crying my eyes out. Rewatching this movie, I still love it because it just brings me so much nostalgia. But if someone was to watch this for the first time in 2023, they probably won't like it. And honestly, I can't, you know, I can't defend it. It's not that great of a movie. I love it because nostalgia. I mean, I like the music. I feel like the music was pretty good, but the acting and the editing and like the pacing of the movie is pretty bad.
I thought it was fun. I like the beat. So, yeah.
As I mentioned before, this was Beyonce's first major acting role. This movie was released a week before Destiny's Child's third album, and then 2 years later, Beyonce would release her first solo album, Dangerously in Love, and you know, that would just take her career on a whole nother level. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Beyonce is still queen of everything. She's the greatest performer alive, arguably the greatest performer of our time, of all time. So, like, at the end of the day, she's still Queen Bee, not Bey.
Public service announcement.
For you hoes that always want to say Queen Bey, I'm gonna say something really bad. Use your brain, use your noggin, use critical thinking. If her name is Beyonce, why would it be Queen Bey? Anyway, that's gonna be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video where I decide to talk some more shit about something else random. Bye.